So I just saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse the other day, and it's an amazing film. The animations are just spectacular. One of the coolest aspects is how they visualize the Spidey-Senses. So today I'm going to show you how we can recreate this effect inside of Adobe After Effects. So the first thing I'm going to do is start by creating my shape layers. So I'm going to turn on Title Action Safe, and then I'm going to add some guides right in the middle here so we can keep things aligned. And I'm going to zoom in. Now we want to go and create our first shape. So I'm going to grab the pen tool, and I have my fill set to this cool Spider-Man red color. I have the stroke turned off, and I'm going to make sure that my guides are locked, which they are. And then I'm going to just start to draw my shape here. One point right in the center, and then one over here. Kind of spread it out by clicking and dragging, and then I'm going to close that. Now I'm going to grab my selection tool, and I'm going to kind of move this. And if I hold the Alt key, I can separate these two and manipulate them individually. Okay, so now I have a basic shape here. And let's just grab this and make sure that snaps to the middle there. And I'm going to press the Y key, select this layer, and I'm going to grab my anchor point, and I'm going to move this to the center. And this is important because when I manipulate this, I want to be able to manipulate it in a specific way. So it's important that we create this in the center and change the anchor point here. Now I'm going to go down and I'm going to rename this layer Spidey-Senses. Okay, now I'm going to open up my shape layer here, and I'm going to add a repeater. So if you look at this add button over here next to contents, I'm going to go select add and then hit repeater, and now you can see it's starting to repeat this shape. And here I have my shape element, and here's a repeater. So I'm going to open up this repeater and open up the transform options of the repeater. Now don't get confused here. Here's the repeater transform attributes, and here's the transform attributes of the layer. It's important that you're in the right area. So first I'm going to bring position down to 0, and then I'm going to, if we grab the rotation here, now you see when I rotate it, it's rotating like this. So what I want to do is I want to have, let's say, 9 copies, and we'll set this to -30, and then we're going to offset this by -1. There we go. Okay, now our shapes are created. Now let's get them into position here. Now if you look at the guides here, these aren't perfectly aligned, they're not perfectly symmetrical, and that's fine for this particular project. I kind of want it to be a little offset, and if you want this to be perfectly aligned, you're gonna, you can get your math on, divide by 360, but I'm not too worried about that. So I'm gonna go to View, I'm gonna turn off these guides, I don't need them now. I'm gonna turn off my title and action safe, and now I have my layer. So now what I want to do is I'm gonna close the repeater. And what I can do is I can go up to shape and open up the transform properties of the actual shape. And if I mess with the position and scale, I can customize this. So if I go here, turn off constrain proportions, and start to move some of these options here, you can see if I move the X of the position, it kind of spreads these out. And as I move the scale, I can change the width of these lines, and I can change the length of these lines. So I'm going to zoom out here. Let's spread these out because this is going to be going around the subject's head. Kind of adjust these exactly how I want them. So that's looking pretty good. Okay, so I have my shapes here. Now what I want to do is create this wave effect. Now I don't want to apply these wave effects directly to my shape layer here, so I'm going to use adjustment layers. I'm going to go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. I'm going to rename this one Wave, and then with this selected, I'm going to add an effect, go to Distort, and select Wave Warp, which is at the bottom here. So now we have a wave effect, but it's not looking specifically how we want it because everything's going from left to right, and I want it to come out from the center. And unfortunately, this particular effect can't do that. We have some good customization options here. I can change totally customize the look here. I can make it use a triangle wave type. I can adjust the height and the width and get a different look. But to make it kind of radiate out from the center, I'm going to use mask and duplicate my adjustment layers here. So what we can do is for this one, this will be wave right. Because if you look how this is moving, I want them all to move like these three. but kind of radiating out from the center. So what I want to do is grab my pen tool, and I'm going to mask out everything else except for these three. And now you can see that I want everything to wave like this. So to do that, I'm going to duplicate my wave right. Now this one will be called wave up. And I just need, for this one, just make sure that I'm masking out just these top three. And then I'm going to change the direction for this one. I'm going to change it to 0. And now you can see these are waving up. That's looking good. And now we'll duplicate this one again, and this one will be wave left, and this will be affecting just these three. So with this one selected, I just need to grab my points here and go left with this one. And for the last step for this, to make this work, I need to change the direction, change it to 270. And now you can see with everything in place, this is waving exactly how I want it. Now, to have these shapes animate on screen, I'm going to go to this shape layer, go to the specific shape element, and select the transform properties. Make sure you're not inside of the repeater or the actual shape layer's transform properties. And I'm going to go to scale, and I've added a marker right at the 20 frame mark here, and that's because my animation in is going to go 20 frames and it's going to end at 20 frames. And when I pre-comp this, we'll be able to see this marker and it'll give us a good visual reference. So I'm going to go right to 20 frames, add a scale keyframe, and I'm actually going to bring this down. I don't want it to end right there. I want them to be a little bit smaller. And now I can go to the beginning and bring that down to 0. So now it's going to animate on. It's going to kind of grow. So that's looking pretty good. And if I want to expand this, I want to expand it out a little bit more. Okay, that's looking good. Now I'm going to grab both of these keyframes and hit F9. That's going to ease those. And I'm going to go to the graph editor and just kind of tweak the speed there. Okay, so now we have our animation in. We're ready to put this over some footage and see how it looks. So I have a clip. I'm going to close these. I have a clip of Lucas here. He's in his crib having a good time, and then something catches his attention and he has this funny little reaction here. So this is perfect to add my graphics right here where his attention is, caught by something off screen. I've added a marker here as another visual reference to where I want this animation in to occur. So now I'm going to go and grab my Spidey-Senses comp, bring it over top of the Lucas clip, and here, like I said, we can see the marker. So now I'm going to grab this marker and kind of loosely make sure they're around the same time. So this animates in right when he reacts. And now I'm going to go and grab it and kind of position it where I want it, so over his head. There we go. So now let's just take a quick look at what we got here. I'm going to zoom in a bit and reposition this. And let's see how this looks. Okay, it's not bad position-wise, but you can see the graphic is kind of staying in place, and when he turns, the movement doesn't look good. So what I want to do is I want to basically have this graphic move along with the clip, because this clip is handheld. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to track the motion of our video clip and then apply that tracking data to our graphic. It's quite easy. Don't be scared off by this. So how we do this is first go to Window, select Tracker, and I'm going to make sure I have my video clip selected, and I'm going to select Track Motion. All the default settings are fine and good. I'm going to go to Edit Target and make sure I have this Spidey-Senses selected. So essentially, all the tracking information that I get from this clip is going to be applied to this pre-comp. And again, all the default settings are fine. I've got track type, transform, position. That's all fine and dandy. Now my playhead is right in the middle, so I'm going to bring it to the end here. And I want the graphic to follow his head, so I'm going to try to track his eye here, and hopefully this will work. And now I'm going to analyze back and just keep a look at this and make sure that that point doesn't drift and we don't have to reposition it when he blinks. Okay, he blinked. Okay, that's fine. Good. It's holding steady. He's such a cute boy. Okay, now I just need to click apply and click OK, and now it's going to bring us back to the comp panel. And if we scroll over, we see now our Spidey-Senses are moving with his head. Now you see when he turns his head, it's looking a little bit better. But now the positioning is a little off here. So I'm going to go to my Spidey-Senses layer, hit A for anchor point, and then I'm going to just simply kind of shift that around just a little bit. The reason I'm doing anchor point is because if I open up position, you're going to see that's where all of our keyframes are added. Now let's take a look. Shift it over a little bit more. Okay, now let's take a look at our final composites. So there you have it. Lucas has some baby Spidey-Senses. Now this was really quick. Obviously if I spent some more time I could really customize this, enhance the animation, turn the opacity down, make it blend a little bit better. But if you play around with this, you can achieve some really, really cool results. And if you haven't already, go check out the movie. It is amazing. The animations are so cool. And if you go see it, let me know what you think in the comment section. And if you really, really like this project, it's actually for sale on my website. I have a MOGRT file that's for Premiere Pro, and I also sell this After Effects project. So you can follow the link in the description and pick that up if you want. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you next time.